If you are being passed in a no-passing zone, you should A. Pull off the road. B. Maintain your speed and position. C. Slow down and let the other driver safely return to the drive lane. C. Slow down and let the other driver safely return to the drive lane. Passing areas are based on how far ahead drivers can see. Allow the passing vehicle to re-enter the drive lane as easily as possible to help everyone avoid potential upcoming hazards. You can drive off the road to pass another vehicle. A. If the vehicle ahead is turning left. B. If there are 2 or more lanes traveling in your direction. C. Under no circumstances. C. Under no circumstances. You may never drive off the paved or main traveled portion of the road and onto the shoulder to pass another vehicle. Roads are slippery after it first starts to rain. When the road is slippery, you should A. Avoid making turns and stops while driving at high speeds. B. Test your tires' traction while going uphill. C. Decrease the distance you look ahead of your vehicle. A. Avoid making turns and stops while driving at high speeds. A wet, slippery road does not allow your tires the traction they need, so it is necessary to drive more slowly on a wet road than you would on a dry road. To reduce the risk of skidding, you should avoid fast turns or stops. When a pedestrian guided by a dog or carrying a white cane is crossing the street. A. You must always yield the right of way. B. You must tell them where to cross the street. C. You only have to yield the right of way if you are at a corner. A. You must always yield the right of way. Blind or partially blind pedestrians may carry a white cane or use the assistance of a guide dog. You must always yield the right of way to a pedestrian who is using a guide dog or carrying a white cane.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
This sign means A. Two-way traffic. B. Change in direction ahead. C. School zone and crossing. A. Two-way traffic. This sign informs drivers that they are leaving a divided roadway and approaching a two-way highway. You are preparing to exit the interstate. When should you start reducing your speed? A. About halfway through the deceleration lane. B. As you approach the deceleration lane. C. Immediately upon entering the deceleration lane. C. Immediately upon entering the deceleration lane. When leaving an interstate, you should maintain your speed until you enter the deceleration lane, at which point you should reduce your speed to the exit ramp's posted advisory speed. When changing lanes. A. Check your side mirror and look over your shoulder to make sure the lane is clear. B. Check the inside rearview mirror. C. Slow down. A. Check your side mirror and look over your shoulder to make sure the lane is clear. Before changing lanes, you should check your side mirrors and look over your shoulder to make sure it is safe to proceed. This sign means A. Trucks under 18,000 pounds are allowed. B. Hill ahead. C. Truck stop ahead. B. Hill ahead. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign indicates that there is a steep hill ahead. Slow down and be ready to shift to a lower gear to control your speed and protect your brakes from damage. This sign means A. Upcoming downgrade or hill. B. Road construction area. C. Upcoming narrowing of roadway. A. Upcoming downgrade or hill. This sign warns of a dangerous downgrade or hill ahead. The hill may be very long or steep, or it may have sharp curves. A broken yellow centerline indicates that A. Passing is not permitted. B. Passing on the right is permitted when the way ahead is clear. C. Passing on the left is permitted when the way ahead is clear. C. Passing on the left is permitted when the way ahead is clear. A broken yellow centerline next to your side of the road indicates that traffic may cross the centerline to pass from your side of the road. When you see this black and yellow sign, it means A. The road to the right is for one-way traffic only. B. There is a detour to the right due to road construction. C. The road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. C. The road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign tells drivers to slow down and prepare for an abrupt change in direction at an extreme angle. This sign means A. School zone or crossing. B. Pedestrian crossing. C. Railroad ahead. A. School zone or crossing. A five-sided yellow or yellow-green sign alerts drivers to either a school zone or school crossing. If pedestrians are illegally crossing in the middle of the street instead of in a crosswalk, you A. Must stop for them. B. Do not have to stop for them. C. Should honk your horn at them. A. Must stop for them. You must yield to pedestrians at all times. If the pedestrians are jaywalking or crossing the street where they should not be, you must still stop for them. You are approaching an intersection with a steady yellow traffic light. If you have not already entered the intersection, you should A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Reduce your speed and proceed carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a safe stop. C. Come to a safe stop. When a steady yellow light appears on a traffic signal, you should prepare to stop. If you are already within the intersection, you should clear the intersection as quickly as possible. You are coming to an intersection with a flashing red light. You should A. Slow down and yield the right of way. B. Slow down and drive carefully through the intersection. C. Come to a complete stop, check the traffic, and go when it is safe to do so. C. Come to a complete stop, check the traffic, and go when it is safe to do so. A flashing red traffic light means the same thing as a stop sign. You must come to a complete stop, yield to other traffic and pedestrians, and then proceed when it's safe to do so. To avoid traction loss on wet roads, you should A. Make abrupt turns. B. Apply the brakes firmly. C. Slow down. C. Slow down. To prevent hydroplaning, lower your speed in response to wet roads and keep your tires in good condition. If you detect a loss of control, take your foot off the gas, do not apply the brakes, maintain the direction of the vehicle, and allow the vehicle to slow to a manageable speed. If you encounter an aggressive driver, you should A. Challenge them. B. Get out of their way. C. Speed up. B. Get out of their way. Drivers must respect and cooperate with all other road users and conform to specific rules in order to maintain order and to avoid crashes. When encountering an aggressive driver, it is safest to just get out of their way. Always avoid competing with other drivers. If you are being followed too closely on a two-lane road, A. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. B. Speed up to increase the distance between you and the other car. C. Apply your brakes to slow down, then resume your original speed. A. Reduce your speed slowly to encourage the tailgater to drive around you. If you are being followed too closely by another driver, merge into a different lane. If there is no lane available for merging, wait until the road ahead is clear and slowly reduce your speed. This will encourage the tailgater to drive around you. This sign means A. Reserved parking for persons with disabilities. B. Slow-moving vehicle. C. No U-turn. A. Reserved parking for persons with disabilities. This sign indicates parking spaces that are reserved for vehicles displaying persons with disabilities license plates, disabled veteran license plates, and/or disabled parking placards. This road sign means A. Bicycle crossing. B. Stop only if other cars are approaching. C. Yield the right-of-way to pedestrians. A. Bicycle crossing. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. These signs alert drivers to areas where bicycles may be crossing. This road sign means A. Do not enter. B. No parking. C. No U-turn. C. No U-turn. This sign prohibits drivers from making a U-turn. You cannot turn around to go in the opposite direction at an intersection where this sign is posted. Yellow lines separate A. Traffic lanes on one-way streets. B. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roads. C. All carpool lanes from regular traffic lanes. B. Traffic moving in opposite directions on two-way roads. Yellow lines mark the center of a road used for two-way traffic. A solid yellow centerline indicates that drivers may not cross the line to pass. A broken yellow centerline indicates that drivers may cross the line to pass, but only if passing would not interfere with traffic. An orange-colored sign like this means A. There is roadwork ahead. B. You must change lanes ahead. C. There is a detour ahead. A. There is roadwork ahead. Orange-colored signs indicate construction areas. Proceed with caution. The best thing to do if you become tired while driving is to A. Stop to rest or change drivers. B. Drink coffee. C. Open a window. A. Stop to rest or change drivers. If you become tired while driving, it is best to stop to rest or change drivers. Being tired dulls your mind and slows down your reactions, making driving hazardous. When a school bus is stopped ahead on your side of the road with its red lights flashing, you must A. Slow to a speed no faster than 10 miles per hour. B. Stop until the lights stop flashing. C. Change lanes and pass cautiously. B. Stop until the lights stop flashing. The flashing overhead lights and stop arm on a school bus will be activated when the bus is stopped to load or unload students. If approaching a bus using these signals, you may not proceed until the red lights have stopped flashing and the stop arm has been retracted. Never pass a school bus that is dropping off or picking up students. When should you yield your legal right-of-way? A. Often, even at controlled intersections. B. Whenever it helps prevent collisions. C. Never. It confuses other drivers. B. Whenever it helps prevent collisions. Never assume other drivers will give you the right-of-way. Yield your right-of-way whenever it helps prevent collisions. Which of the following driving skills are affected by the use of alcohol and/or drugs? A. Alertness and concentration. B. Reaction time and coordination. C. All of the above. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. A. Red, yellow, green. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns drivers about the presence of traffic signals at an intersection ahead. A green arrow displayed on a traffic light means A. Drivers must turn in the indicated direction. B. Drivers may turn in the indicated direction after coming to a complete stop. C. Drivers may not turn in the indicated direction. A. Drivers must turn in the indicated direction. If a traffic signal is displaying a green arrow, traffic in the indicated lane should proceed in the direction shown by the arrow. Traffic turning on a green arrow has the right-of-way, but drivers should still be cautious of pedestrians and other vehicles that may be in the intersection. A driver should A. Assume all drivers automatically obey the right-of-way rules. B. Assume most drivers obey the right-of-way rules. C. Always be prepared to yield the right-of-way. C. Always be prepared to yield the right-of-way. Although the right-of-way rules provide a guide to determine who should yield the right-of-way at an intersection, no one should assume they automatically have the right-of-way. The situation and circumstances at an intersection must always be considered. Drivers should yield their legal right-of-way if it can help prevent a collision.